Alrighty, good evening, everybody. My name is Aiden, or as some people know me as Braves News Central. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was not gonna do this tonight. I had to get talked into doing this because I am very nervous. Because I've never done something like this before. But we're gonna see how this goes, and this first episode is just gonna be a little, I guess, get to know me kind of thing. So I've loved the Braves and I've loved baseball ever since I was, I don't know, I guess, born. I've watched the games every night with my parents, and there was one year where I had gotten a little, wooden baseball bat for my birthday, and I would stand in front of the TV and kind of just act like I was, a big leaguer, and it was my little kid me had a blast doing that, just standing there, acting like I was a big leaguer, and I had the time of my life, and it's kind of that doing that kind of I guess helped me. I don't know. I guess helped me. It helped grow my love for Braves baseball. Is what I'm trying to say. And I honestly don't know where I would be right now without baseball. It's kind of my, I guess, comfort place. When I'm down or when I'm stressed out or whatever, I kind of just go watch baseball clips on YouTube and stuff. And and it always makes me feel happy when I get to see the Braves do good against teams that are also good. It makes me like get all pumped up and get ready for the postseason. And we're only in second place, only what, like 2 games behind the Phillies, and it's fun. These types of games are fun, and it's fun to watch, fun to go to. Like last year, I went to the clinching game, and that the stadium was electric. It's the funnest game I've ever been to in my whole 17 years on this planet. And I even went to the game before that, and even that game was electric. Just going to these games is what brings me life. And I also have my Braves News Central on Instagram, and I created that to spread my love of baseball. And it was and baseball runs my whole entire family, the love of it. Before my grandpa died, he would always watch baseball games with me, and yeah, it was crazy stuff. One of my aunts actually went on a date with Dale Murphy. I mean, it didn't go anywhere. Otherwise, they'd be famous or whatever. But it's fun to watch baseball. So tonight let's see. I think we're gonna start out by talking about the signing of Dallas Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel had spent his whole career with the Astros, and he was the 2015 AL Cy Young Award winner. And with the recent troubles that the Braves have had in their starting rotation, this is a huge improvement to the starting rotation. And even though it doesn't seem like it, but I'm hoping that Dallas can step up, and I'm hoping he can perform when he's best needed. And and I think the main reason we did this was because of the struggles that Kevin Gausman and Mike Foltynewicz have had so far this season. Gausman, he's looked a bit rough his past few starts. It seems like every Braves fan knows that they don't know. They expect him to give up 6 runs every start. And, I think Alex Anthopoulos has seen that and said, okay, it's time to get something done. But the sad part about that is I also read somewhere that Scott Boras, his agent, said that this was only a one-time thing, that he's not going to come back, that he wants to be a free agent. He wants Dallas to be a free agent at season's end so Dallas can get the contract he deserves. But I think that if Dallas can perform well enough, Scott Boras will change his mind and will let Dallas be a Brave for another year or two. And, it's just, I'm excited to see how well he does for this team. And I'm excited to see him start in Gwinnett tomorrow night. And it's going to be a blast. Next up, we are going to talk about, Austin Riley's production and how well he's been doing. He came up middle of May, I think, and since then he has just been on a roll. He's hit, I think, eight or nine, maybe even 7 home runs in his first 20-ish games. And he's just been on a tear. He's having one of the best rookie seasons I've seen from a guy ever, And that's a stud. This guy's a stud. He's definitely got potential for NL Rookie of the Year, no doubt about it. It's going to be a tough race for Rookie of the Year because there's a bunch of good rookies. And like Pete Alonso's been a star too for the Mets. So it all comes down to the end of the season, how well each player does this whole season. And next up, we are going to talk about the MLB draft and how well I think they did. So with the first pick they had, the Braves selected the catcher from Baylor, Shea Langeliers. And a week prior to the draft, Langeliers had a game where he had 11 RBIs and 3 home runs. And I think that's the main reason that the Braves drafted him, because they saw how well he produces at the plate, and he's also been called the catcher of the future. And I think that we can see Shea in the major leagues by 2021. Like, he's that good of a catcher. And one of the other picks that I really enjoyed was Bew Phillips. Bew Phillips looked great. He looks like he can be up here in the majors in 2022 or 2023. He's also one of the young guys that's going to make a huge impact in this rotation. And who else? There's I think it was Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn was one of those. I think he's a two-way player. So he's an outfielder and he's a pitcher. And I think we drafted him as a pitcher, but if the pitching doesn't work out, he can always transfer over to the outfield and join the whole bunch of other prospects we have in the outfield, like Pache and Waters and even Acuna. All those young guys who are studs and who will be studs in the majors, who have performed so well in the minor leagues. And I'm excited to see how well these draft picks do. Next up, this season, it didn't start out how we wanted to, with us being swept by the Phillies in 3 games to open up the season, and a lot of us Braves fans thought that, oh man, this is how this season's gonna go. We're gonna lose 90 games, win 72. But no, this team has bounced back from that opening series. I've just gone on a roll of 33 games or whatever. And Luke Jackson has improved the most, in my opinion. He's been a stud since that opening series. And then this lineup got way more improved when Austin Riley came up, and we've won a lot more games. But I feel like had we addressed our bullpen woes over the off season, we could have maybe 40 to 45 wins and we could be sitting up top first, maybe 3 games ahead of the Phillies. But, I guess Alex Anthopoulos saw how last season went and said, we're fine, and decided not to do anything except for get Donaldson, McCann, and Mark Akis back. But I feel like at the deadline, leading up to my next part of this podcast, at the deadline, there are a bunch of guys that I think we should go out to get. Like, one of the guys is a guy who's under the radar, and because he plays for the White Sox, but his name is Aaron Bummer. And at the start of this, or at the point of this podcast, Aaron Bummer has like a .53 ERA or whatever in, I think, 13 or 14 games. But he looks like he'd be a great person to have in this bullpen. He's got great seeking action or whatever, and he can get into the hitters' heads, and that can really help this bullpen. And then next up, we could even get Mike Minor back. Minor has done so well this season. I think he pitched a complete game, either complete game or complete game shutout for the Rangers this season. And Mike Minor, we used to have Mike Minor, and he was okay from what I saw. I mean, I may not be correct about that, but yeah, he's been great. And then we could also get Madison Bumgarner, even though he's getting old and he's going to be a free agent at season's end. I still think we can get Madison Bumgarner to, I guess, improve this starting rotation even more with Keuchel in there as well. And it's going to be a fun trade deadline. And I believe that with Madison Bumgarner and Dallas Keuchel, we can get this team into the playoffs, and we will be strong, and we'll make it to the NLDS. We'll make it past the NLDS. Heck, maybe even make it to the World Series. And I'm ready to see what Anthopoulos does at the trade deadline. Back to my personal stories. We're gonna go off topic a bit. My first baseball game that I can remember, I was so excited to go. I had been watching for days and days. I had been watching for the whole season on TV, and I finally got the chance to go to a Braves game. From what I can remember, every Braves game I've been to, we've won. So maybe I should go to all the games. And then when I heard about the All-Star game coming to Atlanta, I was so excited because I've always wanted to go to an All-Star game, and I was just so giddy, and I was like, hey, I'll start saving up, get some tickets when they go on sale, and I just love Braves baseball so much, And, I created this, like I said before, I created this page for my love of baseball. I wanted to express and spread my love of baseball with other people. And, my page has grown so much over the past 3 years, and I love it so much, I would always bug my mom with, a bunch of Braves stuff. I would be at school, and I would see some news about the Braves, and I'd be like, oh, wow, I better text my mom this, let her know. And, I just love it so much. The Braves right now, they're just beating up on the Marlins. Mike Soroka is having a heck of a game. I think his ERA is down to 1.3 currently. It's unbelievable. Mike Soroka is a stud. He's the best pitcher we have in this rotation right now. He's got a 6-1 record, a 1.3 ERA, and after tonight's game, I think he'll lead the majors in ERA, which is outstanding. This kid who came off the IL to start the season. This kid spent all of most of 2018 on the DL back then. He's been nonstop ever since his first game against the Mets back in 2018, and he's definitely he's definitely the ace of the future.